of a 5.77 or 5.8-inch display here. Samsung has stuck to the 5.7-inch display size for 3 generations now, and the reception's being largely positive. So I guess that's why the extra size. Anyway, moving on, the build should be close to what we've seen with the S7 and S7 Edge because the Note series traditionally has taken design cues from the S series. So don't expect any drastic changes, glass to the front and back. Expect the S Pen to return, of course, and water and dust resistance should also find their way over to the Note series. One of the weirder rumors involves the S Pen doubling as a stand. Now, I really don't see this working out, but hey, it's a rumor and it makes the list. The reason why Samsung decided to go with micro USB for the Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge was mainly due to Type-C breaking compatibility with Gear VR. Now, with most brands adopting Type-C and even budget releases, it's going to be very hard for Samsung to not switch and to continue sticking with micro USB, and rumors indicate just that. As far as storage goes, Samsung's supposed to be working on a 256 gig variant. Given that Samsung's existing 128 or even 64 gig variants haven't been widely available, at least not here in India, I'm not really interested in this. If you are, let me know in the comments below. What I am interested in though is the fact that microSD would be making a return. Samsung seems to have heard the noise we made with the S6 and the Note 5 and have brought them back with the S7 and S7 Edge microSD, that is. And I don't see any reason why Samsung would do a 180 again. Talking about internals, Samsung flagships barring very few like the Galaxy S5, which came with 2 gigs of RAM at a time where most other flagships had 3, including Samsung's older Note 3. Samsung's flagships generally sport top of the line internals. So we expect the same, and the rumors indicated too. 2 variants, Snapdragon 823, a higher clock Snapdragon 820, and the Exynos 8880, the same chip from the Galaxy S7 and S7 Edge. I don't really see Samsung tinkering with the Exynos chip because even as of today, it manages to beat the 820s. All implementations of the 820s and benchmarks and day-to-day performance. Check out our speed tests. We've done quite a few. So anyway, 823, Snapdragon 823, Exynos 8890, and 6 gigs of RAM. Why 6 gigs? It's just June and we are already seeing Chinese players coming out with 6 gigs of RAM on their flagships, and I just cannot picture a scenario where Samsung's flagship that comes out few months after the Chinese flagships comes with lower specs than what the Chinese have had to offer. That brings us to number 7, battery. With the Galaxy S7 receiving a considerable bump in battery capacity and Samsung managing to fit a freaking 5000 mAh battery into a 7.5mm thick A9 Pro, it's hard to ignore rumors pointing to a 4000 to 4200 mAh battery in the next Galaxy Note, and this is something I'm looking forward to because the Galaxy Note 5, the battery worked out quite well for me, and if they're gonna increase it by 30-35%, that's welcome, of course. So With that, we get to cameras. Samsung generally doesn't like messing around with the camera configuration between the S and the Note series, but we have heard rumors about Samsung improving the optical image stabilization, something called Super OIS, and I really hope this turns out to be true because for video, the S7 is the best camera around. Take it from a guy who shoots videos for a living. Samsung's the only manufacturer providing manual controls for video, and I shoot a ton of my outdoor B-rolls with the S7 or the S7 Edge. I can't wait to see how Samsung improves on those already excellent cameras. Number 9, software. If there's a new flavor of Android that's gonna be available around the time of launch, hold it back for every other device, launch it with your flagship. That's been Samsung's mantra when it comes to Android versions and updates. And given that Android N is around the corner, I expect the next Note to launch with Android N on board by default out of the box. The current features from the S series like the always on display and the manual video camera, well, I expect them to make their way over to the Note 7 as well. And with that, we get to pricing and availability. Going by past history, Samsung should launch the next Note in the first week of September at IFA, though we have been hearing rumors of an earlier launch in August. Anyway, the phones themselves should go on sale by the end of September, early October, either way. The pricing should be similar to that of the Note 5 or a little higher around the S6 Edge Plus's price if they decide to go with the curved display. The S6 Edge Plus was priced similarly in a lot of markets, but in a place like India, it was priced much higher than the Note 5. Anyway, of course, there are a ton of other rumors, including a docking station that converts your Note into a laptop, an iris scanner, something we've been hearing since the Galaxy S4, pressure sensitivity, kind of like 3D touch from Apple, amongst others. But I decided to pick the 10 that I felt had the best odds of turning out to be true. Is there any other major rumor that you feel I missed? Let me know in the comments below. So I guess that's it for this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, put it down if you didn't, and subscribe.